Welcome to Q's on the Move. I'm your man, Brother Donald Williams II, the proud 2nd District Chairman for Fatherhood Initiative and Mentoring of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Hey, it's 61 days into the new year. Wow. Isn't that something? My co-host for this evening is Jeffrey Diggs, my good friend, and he's as humble as they come, but he's driven for action. I want to give him the proper introduction before we give him opening remarks. He's the immediate past bosses of Mu Road Chapter, 2nd District Achievement Chair under the 35th District Representative of Sherman Charles, and he's currently my deputy chairman for the Fatherhood Initiative and Mentoring. Public, I want to say thank you so much, Brother Diggs, for all you're doing. What are your opening remarks?
It's great to be here again as we start our 4th year of Q's on the Move. Our goal for these podcasts is just to grow, connect, engage, and share information to new generation of listeners about the incredible work that the Omega Psi Phi is doing and across the district and mentoring throughout. I just want to mention very quickly that tonight we have one of our own and a special guest that's going to continue to inform us of what's going on here in the state of Maryland.
And great, we are here to inspire and encourage, and hopefully encourage you to become a mentor in your neighborhood and in your community. I'm Brother Diggs. I'm still on the mountaintop, still excited. So Omega proud what the Fatherhood Initiative and Mentoring Committee has accomplished within the first 61 days of this new year. I want to thank everybody for awesome district-wide collective impact with mentoring our families. What you don't know is that January the 30th, we were intentional about mentoring in the first 61 days, we're mentoring our families, our boys and our girls. And on January the 30th, CSI, STEM workshop. We had approximately 240 participants. They wanted to learn about CSI, and that's a STEM career field that's underserved. On February the 13th, we met the kids where they are. A lot of them love to play this NBA. And so Edipi chapter hosted an NBA tournament. And we had approximately 100 participants, 10 hours. 10 hours. It got over at 8 p.m. And February the 20th, the 2nd District supported Alfred Street Baptist Church with their first ever virtual college fair. And our good brother Bernard Jackson is the project manager for that. This was the first time they did it virtually. And so we're still trying to get the numbers from that. And last Saturday, we changed the game. We had the 2nd District Game Changer Conference with our many stakeholders that supported to make it successful. We had about 250 participants on Saturdays, mothers, fathers, boys and girls. It was an exciting time. And I just want to say, before I turn it over to Jeffrey Diggs, thank you so much for working together for a greater impact across the district, mentoring our families in this moment. And so I like to pivot. A lot is going on in the world, in our communities, and the new normal is 2021. As we continue to transform, let's get right into the conversation, Brother Diggs. Introduce our guests, who we both are proud of.
It is the proud member of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. But even more, he is the guy that's out there on the front line working for his community, working hard for his community, working hard for, the fathers. And we had the pleasure of working with the legislation last year, and we've been pushing through. So with that, want to introduce you to Brother Nick Charles. He's the state delegate representing the 25th district, which is Prince George's County, Maryland. So, with that, my brother, you have the floor, and please take the time to share what it is that you want to have us to know.
Brad Diggs, thanks for that warm welcome, big brother. Brad Williams, thank you so much, man, for everything that you continue to do, being the chairman of the Fatherhood and Mentoring for the second district. Before I got elected, I was extremely proud to work with you, man, and partner up to figure out how I can be the legislative director to go after and look at all of the bills coming down the pipeline affecting fathers. So to be in the position that I'm in now as an actual legislator in Annapolis, from the humble beginnings of working with you as the legislative lead for the second district on fatherhood and mentoring, I'm truly grateful to have come behind you, walk in your footsteps. So thank you to the both of you brothers. You know, as you said, welcome to the new norm 2021. It's as that all the brothers have seen, two things that have been prevalent over this last year is the racial reckoning that our country is facing and the devastation to our communities across the world with COVID-19. And it's kind of hard to pick and choose where we're going to start because both of these issues are just as aggravating to me as I know they are to all the brothers that are probably listening in right now. We watched a lot of brothers pass away, good brothers. We've seen family members pass away from this virus. And so the first thing I want to tell brothers to do is, I know the second district has a call going on, every week where we got brothers who are in the healthcare field. But I'm going to piggyback on what comes out is make sure you're wearing your mask out there right now. Put your mask on,
Yes.
Protect yourselves when you go outside, brothers, because this is not a joke. And if you can, take the vaccine. I just took my second dose this past Friday, and they say it doesn't stop everything. It definitely protects you. It protects you from taking this thing head on. And I know I don't ever want to be not counted in the number. So, for the brothers, I want to see you all too take the vaccine when you get a chance. And speaking of the vaccine, I guess we will start with the vaccine issue. I have not been necessarily happy with the rollout myself, with the rollout of how the vaccine has been administered throughout the state of Maryland. I'm not sure how many of you. How about you, Bro Williams and Bro Diggs? Have you guys taken the vaccine yet?
No, not me. Not in the
Have you
category yet.
guys planned it? Not even with age.
Not even with age. Yeah.
Wow. So they're on the list. There are people. Okay. Yeah. So, I've been getting calls left and right from folks in my district who've been asking me, Delegate Charles, what's going on with this? The governor's office put out a phone number. The governor's office put out a website, and every time they go to the website, they get stuck. They have to go through hundreds of different locations. There's no way that to bring it all together to make it easy, especially for our senior citizens, to be able to get through to this site and literally make sure they can get the appointments that they need. When they make the phone calls, they get through to nobody. So, it's sad that this is the second major hiccup the governor's office had. Obviously during the earlier parts of COVID, we had to deal with the fact that the appointment system. And you know, I had hundreds of people calling my office trying to get help with unemployment. And that's one thing to be able to pay your bills, but for folks trying to be able to protect their own lives right now, it's even greater of a cause to make sure he handles this appropriately. So, you know, we are putting pressure on the governor's office from the General Assembly, from the Senate, and from the House side to fix this. There has not been an equal distribution of vaccines throughout uh, all of the counties. As you guys know, I represent Prince George's County. Uh, and we had some of the highest rates of COVID cases throughout the state. And we had some of the least amount of COVID vaccines distributed to our folks in our community. And we have 100,000 people on a waiting list right now. I'll repeat that, 100,000 people on the waiting list, brothers. And so we got a lot of people who want to take it, and the governor's out there saying that we got black folks who don't want to take it. And we got 100,000 people in Prince George's County right now who want to take the vaccine. And so there was also an article. I know our brother Nick Mosby, and then we also the Baltimore City Senate delegation chair Corey McCray. I know he's also been pushing because they don't have enough vaccines in Baltimore City. You know, and they got a high turnout of folks who have actually tested positive for COVID. You know, we have to hold this governor accountable. So the call to the brothers for this is when we mobilize, bros. This is where we mobilize. Black people are suffering. Black people are suffering. And if we as members of Omega Psi Phi sit by and not do anything about it, shame on us. It's time for us to mobilize and get brothers on the calls, to start calling the governor's office, start emailing the governor's office, and talk about how he's treating Prince George's County and Baltimore City. There should be equal distribution of these vaccines. We need to make sure the people in the counties that need it the most, the city that needs it the most, get access. So, brothers, we need you, and we need you now. We need you now. You know, that leads me to another point. You know, when I talked about in my earlier introduction about what's going on with COVID, I also talked about a racial reckoning that this country is facing. There's been a lot going on. When you've seen the news and social media daily, you constantly see the attack on black men and women, boys and girls across this country. And it's come at the hands of rogue police officers. And we have brothers within our own ranks who are police officers. So we know every police officer isn't bad. We know that. We know that. We know we got good cops, but we got a lot of dirtbags out there also. And those dirtbags are bringing more harm to our community than good. So we have to hold those folks accountable. So across the country, what we're seeing is an uprising of people to hold the government accountable. And so it's incumbent upon us. That's why the Black Caucus in the state of Maryland has put forth a very visual and comprehensive criminal justice reform package. You know, one of the things, we're the first state ever in the country to create a law enforcement bill of rights, which is a way to protect police officers from having any type of complaints brought against them. It allows for them to work it out internally. And it sounds like it's a good thing until it's abused. Until there are countless cases that are happening within our own state from people abusing their powers and not having anybody to hold them accountable but their friends. At some point in time, we have to take a step back and say, enough is enough. At some point, we have to take a step back and say, enough is enough. We as Black men, we are the leaders. We are a part of the talented 10th. And being part of the talented 10th, we have to move forward in the essence of lifting as we climb. So as we continue to climb intellectually, as we continue to climb in power in our stations in life, we have to put ourselves in positions that we can hold folks accountable. And so we have numbers. We have chapters all across the state of Maryland. We have brothers in all walks of life throughout the state of Maryland. We have brothers, members of our chapters who live in different states. And so the numbers that we have, those numbers should be used to call the Speaker's office, to call the Senate President's office, to call the office of the Judiciary Chair, call the Senate Judicial Proceedings Committee Chair's office, and flood their offices with emails to let them know that we want to repeal the Law Enforcement Bill of Rights along with the Legislative Black Caucus. We need to use our voice and our numbers. So I've already given us one charge. Flood the governor's email. Flood his phone bank, his phone calls. Let them know that we need to make sure that our people get vaccine, especially when we have 100,000 people who are waiting to get vaccinated and still have not. We need to call the right people, all the chairs of the Senate Judicial Proceedings Committee, of the House Judiciary Committee, the Speaker of the House, and the Senate President, and let them know we want to repeal the Law Enforcement Bill of Rights, along with the Legislative Black Caucus, because, my brothers, we are one of the largest bodies of Black members in the country. We are the second largest Black caucus in the country. At one point, we held the title as being the largest. But it's no fun being the largest when you have no teeth and you can't get anything done. And the only way for us to get things done is from pressure. As we all know, some of you brothers from the past who pledged in the past, you know, pressure busts pipes. And when you apply pressure, you get a whole lot more done. You all know that, my brothers. You all know that with pressure, anything can be done. So we have a lot of work that's ahead of us. You know, we also have reforming the Public Information Act to eliminate the police officers from shielding their misconduct records. So as you all are aware, or probably not, there was an officer who was in the state of Delaware, went viral and national for kicking a Black man while he was on his freaking stomach, hands out, kicked the man in his face. Unnecessary use of force. Was fired, was sued and fired, cost that city money. Then brings his, I was going to cuss for a second, brothers, brings himself into the state of Maryland, gets a job as a police officer again, with no understanding of his record, becomes a cop in the state of Maryland, turns around and use more unnecessary force on another Black individual by the name of Anton Black, kills this young Black man, leaving his child and his child without a father, his mother without a son. Because we didn't have any way to understand these records and look at people's records. You know, there's this case, and I'm so disappointed in this one particular case that's happening right here in Prince George's County, brothers. There was a sister, I don't know if you saw it in the Washington Post, but there's a sister who's a lieutenant for the Prince George's County Police Department. And She saw two white men who were cops, who she outranked. She saw, well, they had roughed up a black motorist in Black Prince George's County, mind you. Roughed up a black motorist. She held them accountable. Do you know they're suing her? They are suing this woman, trying to get her fired from her job. How? When we got a black county executive, a black state attorney, what type of racism is happening within our police departments where you can't hold white men accountable for their actions? This is the stuff that we will be remembered for. If we sit by idly, brothers, if we sit by idly and don't do anything, this is what we will be remembered for. So we have a lot at stake. A lot at stake, brothers. That's why this police reform is so critical this year. And you know, the reason that it's getting the notoriety that it's getting today is because of the media coverage. But trust and believe, brothers, at some point in time, that media coverage is going to die down because the story is no longer going to sell. And when the story no longer sells, nobody's going to care about it. So while we have the microphone, we need to scream as loud as humanly possible to get the changes that we deserve. Not what we want, but what we deserve. Because we are human beings. You know, they at one point in time considered us 3/5 of a human, bruh. 3/5.
Yes.
Not even enough to be a whole man.
Yes.
And here we are, a whole man, and are not taking manhood serious. Because manhood, as our fraternity teaches us, is responsibility. Responsibility to lead. We are the forebearers of leadership in our community. When we leave our college campuses, as the Dread Book teaches us, we go off to become leaders in our communities. And we're not leaders if we're sitting by idly. So, brothers,
exactly.
I charge you all to call the governor's office. Let them know what we need and what we want. Call the Speaker of the House's office and let her know what we want. Call the Senate President's office. Let him know what we want. See, legislation doesn't just change with us coming in here and voting. It always, like I said earlier, it takes that outside pressure, brothers. That outside pressure busts pipes. And it's time for us to bust a lot of pipes, bros.
But my brother, within these last few minutes, is this something that we can do with our annual legislative day? 100 Mega Men in Annapolis, or actually this year should be much larger.
It should be, bruh. Bruh Diggs, it should be. And you know, I was on a call this past weekend, not this weekend, the weekend before. This weekend I was beat down from the COVID vaccine. But the weekend before, I was on a call with Chi D chapter. You know, congratulations to bros at Chi D for establishing themselves as a graduate chapter, transitioning from undergrad to graduate chapter. Congratulations to those brothers. And the DR was on a call, and I was giving them a legislative update as well. And one of the things that came out of that discussion is we need to make sure we have Q's in Annapolis again this year, even if it's not here in person. What are we doing right now? We're right on a digital platform talking. The AKs just did theirs. And one of the things, you know, I talked to bro Rick Allison. And so bro Rick Allison is going to be working to help pull this together. And if he's tuned in, I hope he is. Bro Rick Allison, rude to you. You know, let me know what you need. But bro Diggs, if you can reach out to him also and give him the helping arm he needs.
Absolutely.
Bro Altman Panel, who's the political action chair for Chi Delta chapter, reach out to him. Reach out to the bros at LGG, which I actually will be getting on that call because we have a e-council meeting going on right now as this call is going on. So as soon as I'm off with this, I'll be joining with the bros from LGG where I'm financial, and a little LGG plug in there for you. Yeah. But yeah, bro, we need to get that ball rolling. You know, we are what's today's day? March 2nd, right?
March the
Tomorrow's
2nd.
March 3rd. Tomorrow's March 3rd. This is how many days left before a session is over.
Wow.
With.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
41 days.
Yep.
We can make it happen because we don't have to come to Annapolis physically this year. We can do it digitally. Okay.
That's the last day of session, April 12th.
Idea is yes.
So let's get some. It doesn't have to be spectacular, bros. Yeah, it doesn't have to be spectacular. All we need are men ready to work, men ready to not sit by idly, and men ready to make these calls and do what we need to do so that our people will not suffer any longer. And to be able to say that we were there. Omega men were there.
Yes.
To challenge those in power to make this happen.
Okay,
well,
brothers.
Brother Jeff Diggs. Sound like that's a charge that
yes.
We need to pick up the DR. We have 3 minutes remaining queues on the move. And I think that's a realistic charge that we can make happen.
Yes, you know, last year was larger than the year before. This year, I think we can make it that much. Even we should be able to go 10 times the numbers we had last year, considering that we'll be able to operate on a digital platform, make those phone calls, get those emails out there, use social media to bring awareness to this, and actually also challenge the rest of the Divine Nine to join us in these issues this year. And so, so with that, you know, Don, I turn it back over to you for the last two.
I'm going to give Delegate 25th District a minute to sum up. So glad you joined us and enlightening us.
You know, brother, it's like I said, it's always an honor to be on with you, bro. It's always good to see you. It's always good to see you also, bro, Diggs. You know, and short, you know, this should not be the only time that we rally like this as well. You know, every day, you know, there's something going on. There's a school board meeting going on. There's a county council meeting going on somewhere right now. There is a WSSC meeting going on somewhere right now. There's so many things going on with the government that we pay taxes to. We have no idea what's going on with it, brothers. We got to be more engaged than just sitting by and letting things happen without actually exercising our rights. Brothers, we got to stand up and stand tall. We got to stand up and stand tall. And the last thing I will say, as I said to Kai D as well, is I need some help out here in Annapolis. As you all know, my good friend, my namesake, my good brother, Nick Mosby, went on to do greater things, becoming the chair of the Baltimore City Council, the president of the Baltimore City Council. So he's no longer here with me. I'm the only Omega out here in Annapolis. Brothers, the next election cycle is in 2022, next year. It's next year, brothers. It's next year, brothers. So I love to get you guys engaged in the political process and get some of y'all out here running for office. We need more bros in political office. We really do. As you guys saw today, the frat has shared, we lost a giant in Vernon Jordan, a civil rights giant. You know, when I looked at the fact that we lost Vernon Jordan, I was looking at the history of our fraternity and some of the greatness that has come from us. And we still have so much farther to go. There's so many great brothers within our fraternity that can add so much value to the community. So I ask that you brothers get on board and figure out who we're gonna push. Every chapter in the state, we should be figuring out who we're gonna push from a chapter to run for political office. We're gonna get behind somebody and we're gonna push that particular brother. And then we got a governor's race coming up soon. We need to figure out who we're gonna support as governor. Who's gonna cater to the Black issues, not minority issues, to the Black issues that we are dealing with.
Brother Delegate Nick Charles, thank you so much for informing us of the current issues of the day. And we will follow your advice and be in contact with you to help shape our voices. This is something we got control over. So family, thank you so much for joining Q's on the Move. We'll see you on next Tuesday. And we just want to thank you so much. Brother Delegate Nick Charles, thank you so much for informing us of the current issues of the day. And we will follow your advice and be in contact with you to help shape our voices. This is something we got control over. So family, thank you so much for joining Q's on the Move. We'll see you on next Tuesday. And we just want to thank you so much. Delegate Nick Charles, thank you so much for informing us of the current issues of the day. And we will follow your advice and be in contact with you to help shape our voices. This is something we got control of. So family, thank you so much for joining Q's on the Move. Okay. We'll see you on next Tuesday. And we just want to thank you so much. Delegate Nick Charles, thank you so much for informing us of the current issues of the day. And we will follow your advice and be in contact with you to help shape our voices. Hey, so Brother Nick Charles. While we got your ear, how about shaping some, Jeff? I think we can shape some talking points, communicate with the DR. I like how we can mobilize before Q's in Annapolis like we did last year. We came with a strategy, had information papers. We get some names, get some phone numbers. And, you know, when you say call, every time you call, the report is, hey, I just go to a 1-8, I go to a recording. While we got your ear, how about shaping some, Jeff? I think we can shape some talking points.